Hello guys, I am back to talk about Star Wars again. This time I am talking about The Empire Strikes Back, the fifth review in my series of Star Wars reviews. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back takes place a few years after the events of A New Hope, and this time Luke is off training with Yoda while Han is trying to escape the Empire and get back to Jabba the Hutt to pay him back. Just like with A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, I cannot talk about this movie without getting into spoilers. So here is a spoiler warning. So right off the bat, the rebels in the beginning are hiding from the Empire on Hoth. Unfortunately, they get caught and the Empire attacks. Han and Leia manage to escape, and so does Luke, who is going off to the Dagobah system to train with Yoda. It does not take long into the movie for us to realize that within the 3 years between the film, the special effects improved. Also, the AT-ATs are definitely a type of machine I would not want to go up against. If it doesn't completely vaporize you, it's going to step on you. The Hoth sequence also has one of two changes George Lucas made to the film on the special edition that I actually prefer over what we originally got. There are actually a few changes he made in the special edition that I think improves the original trilogy. Two are in here, and the last one's in Return of the Jedi, which I'll talk about on my review for that. At one point, Luke gets captured by this creature. I don't know its name, but I like how in the special edition they actually show the creature and it tries to attack Luke as he escapes, but gets its arm chopped off. It adds an extra layer of suspense into the movie. Anyway, when Luke goes to Dagobah, he meets up with Yoda, who's portrayed as a puppet and is voiced by Frank Oz. I have to commend Frank Oz for his vocal performance as Yoda. He worked with Jim Henson on a lot of stuff, including the Muppets, if I remember correctly. And he helped create an iconic character with Yoda with his puppeteering work and his voice. Mark Hamill also helps. His performance helps to make Yoda more convincing with his reactions and with how he speaks to Yoda, who is again a puppet. Han, Leia, and Chewie end up going to one of Han's old friends named Lando. Some stuff happens in between, but they're not that important. However, by the time he gets there, the Empire had already gotten there, and Han gets captured and frozen in carbonite. With the help of the Force, Luke is able to know something's wrong, and he goes to help his friends, which unfortunately Darth Darth Vader had set a trap, and Luke and Vader fight in the most intense lightsaber duel in Star Wars history. I like how at first Luke is the one throwing the swings. It helps to establish his naiveness and immaturity as a young Jedi in training. Later on in the fight, however, Darth Vader kind of gets sick of the whole thing and just starts swinging, which leads to the most iconic moment in the entire film. Luke gets his hand chopped off, and Vader reveals to him that he's his father. Those of us who have watched the movies chronologically, like saw the prequels first and then watched the original trilogy, although those are the much younger ones, not me, we would already know that, yeah, Vader is his father. But those of us who didn't know, back in the early 80s, not me, of course, we were not expecting that. Luke escapes. Leia and Chewie also manage to escape but fail to retrieve Han. They pick Luke up and they go to some place outside of their galaxy, I believe. And Luke gets fixed. He gets a new hand. Irvin Kershner directed this film, not George Lucas. George Lucas had a lot of responsibilities he needed to do, so he hired his film school teacher to direct this film, and I think Irvin Kershner helped with this film. George had a lot of responsibilities. He couldn't direct it. He went to Irvin Kershner, and his direction, I think, improves the film. It's a bit slower, but it needed to be a bit slower. They had 1.5 million problems making A New Hope. They had way more making this. They did not have studio backing with Empire Strikes Back because George Lucas wanted independence. And so he used his own money to fund the film, and it produced way more problems than having it be a studio-backed film. On the thankful note, his desire for independence also helped improve the film's quality, because then you don't have a studio hacking away half an hour, making it into a jumbled mess. John Williams' musical score also helps with the film. I was unable to talk about him during my review of A New Hope, but his musical score is phenomenal. Just like Revenge of the Sith, there are some highlight tracks in this film, especially the Imperial March. Now I'm going to talk about someone who does not get a lot of credit. Peter Mayhew, the late Peter Mayhew, who portrays Chewbacca. I really hate how actors who act in suits, like Mayhew, don't get a lot of credit. Mayhew's reactions as Chewbacca, his movements, all fit in line what the type of character Chewbacca is. However, he did not get any awards, as do a lot of actors who act in suits. Peter Mayhew is the perfect actor to portray Chewbacca, and it sucks that he is gone. Anyway, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back is easily one of the best sequels, if not the best sequel ever made, and I am giving it a star. Well, 3 more reviews for my Star Wars series of reviews, including one last one in the George Lucas era. I will return again next week and review Return of the Jedi. Well, that's all I have for now. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.